Welcome to the NSIC Spotlight, the voice of the NSIC student athletes, powered by gpac. gpac, current people and companies. I'm your host, Nick Corder, Assistant Commissioner at the Northern Sun. Today, we're joined by the NSIC Women's Golf Individual Champion, Minnesota State freshman Emerson Garlie. Emerson, welcome to the Spotlight.
Thank you for having me.
So we do each week. Let's start with you telling us a bit about yourself.
I'm currently a freshman from Northfield, Minnesota, here at Minnesota State, and I am studying elementary education.
Outstanding. Freshman, Northfield, Minnesota. That's just south of the Twin Cities. How did you end up playing golf at Minnesota State?
I think during the whole recruiting process, Minnesota State really stuck out to me, just the team environment and everyone's drive to win.
And how did you end up playing golf when you were younger, getting into the sport?
So growing up, I was not really a golfer. I was more on the hockey side, and I was a little bit of a tomboy, and I played baseball. But my dad would always go to the range and ask me, and I went a few times, and then I fell in love with it, and ever since then, I've been getting lessons, practicing, and then now I'm here. So it works out perfectly.
It is working out perfectly. You are the first freshman to win the NSIC Women's Golf Tournament since 2015. How were you able to prepare during the season to go out there and be playing your best golf come NSIC championship time?
I think through the fall, I definitely battled some adversity, did not play my best golf game, and I really took that to heart and brought it into the winter and worked super hard to make my game where it was. I kept posting good rounds, but couldn't do two together. So at conference, it finally all clicked for 3 straight days and made me be very successful there.
Any special routines or superstitions that you have to do before you take the course?
I usually drink a Mountain Dew before every game or sometimes get McDonald's and hit every club the same at the driving range. So that's about it.
All right. Well, it was definitely working for you down in Missouri last weekend at NSIC Championships. As we mentioned, you're the individual champion. The second round is where you really pulled away from the field. You shot around a 73. Most other players were in the high 70s that day with their round. What was working for you in that second round that allowed you to take over the lead?
I don't think my round was too special. I started off with some bogeys and I was +2 through 12, and then I ended up hitting it in for eagle. And I think that kind of just carried a lot of momentum into the rest of my round and just the rest of the week. And I think if I wouldn't have done that, I just would have been in the middle with a little 77 or so. So I think that eagle really lifted my momentum to finish it off.
So you enter the final round with a 5-stroke lead. How'd you approach that round knowing you had some room, but not a lot with that talented field right behind you?
I knew I just had to keep playing my game. I told myself if I shot a 75, I should win unless if a girl had a career. So I just didn't try to make mistakes. And when I did, I tried to only make it a bogey instead of a double bogey or a triple. And yeah, that kind of worked the whole day.
Yeah, don't let it compound there. Um, obviously, there's live scoring, there's tracking, coaches with you. What moment did you know that you were the NSIC individual champion?
I think kind of on after the 17th hole, I made a really good bogey. It was not my best hole, and it was a hole I could definitely birdie, but I got out with a bogey after making trouble. And then walking up the 18th hole, I had to mess around with Coach Alex Schmitz and tell him I was going to do something when I really wasn't, and what we were going to do to celebrate. So I kind of think that was the moment I was going to win.
Outstanding. Obviously, your teammates there to celebrate with you, but you were not the only champion. The Mavericks took the team title. What's it mean to be able to celebrate this team championship with the Mavericks?
Honestly, I think it means more than an individual championship. We worked so hard all season, and we didn't really have our best season, but then we kind of all came together and played good when it really mattered, and it helped us be successful out there.
Mavericks earn an automatic bid to the NCAA Central Region Tournament. That's May 5th to the 7th down in Edmond, Oklahoma. You ever been to Oklahoma before?
I have not been to Oklahoma.
All right, so first trip down to Oklahoma in the coming days. What's it mean to be able to extend your season and your teammates' season down in the NCAA postseason?
I think it's pretty cool, and that was definitely the goal of coming here to help us make it to that point and hopefully do pretty well and be in the middle of the pack instead of dead last like last year. So I'm just hoping to be a little successful there.
All right, final question for you. What's the best piece of advice you've been given during your athletic career?
I think to just move on. You can't ever change what happened in the past, and You just got to keep playing your game, and if you get stuck on your negative thoughts, you'll never get better.
Thinking positive. That's some great advice right there. Emerson, thank you for joining us. That's going to wrap up this week's show. Thanks again to our sponsor, gpac. Emerson, best of luck to you and the Mavericks in postseason play.
Thank you very much.